Hey YouTube, RicoKnows here. Going to talk to you guys about my hidden gem for Wake Forest. So if you aren't aware, I'm doing a series where I evaluate every single roster in America and I find one hidden gem on every single team for next year's college football season. That's right, we got college football starting here soon, and I'm telling you guys one hidden gem on every single team. Usually, it's somebody that the casual fan doesn't know. Usually, it's somebody that might not have been a starter, something to that effect, right? But I've been identifying players at all different position groups. And then I come across Wake Forest and I say, yo, there's a guy on this team. Now, full disclosure, I learned about Branson Coomes last year. I think it was last year. So I got asked a question last August, and it was, hey, Rico, what FCS teams are going to beat an FBS team? Like, what upsets are going to happen? And I remember I picked 5 of them, but I said, no, only 3 are really going to happen. And my second one listed, my number one was Idaho over Nevada, got that right. My second one listed was Southern Illinois, right? The Salukis are going to beat Northern Illinois. And it happened. And the reason I believed in that is I went and studied the Salukis. I went and studied Southern Illinois. And I wanted to look at that team and see who do they got. And I came across this kid right here, Branson Coomes. He was their star linebacker. And he's just a monster. And last year, he was all first team all conference, over 80 tackles. He did all these great things. But there's more to this young man than meets the eye. Okay, yes, he's 6'3", 222. But this guy's about to be one of those feel-good stories. He will always be on my radar. He will always be a RicoKnows player. Come NFL draft time next year, I'm going to be telling you this is one of my deep hidden gems that needs to be drafted. And maybe he shoots up draft boards. It all depends on how well he plays at Wake Forest. But I want to explain it to you guys, okay? So, if you look at Wake Forest, they have a really good linebacker. Dylan Hazen here led the team in tackles. He does a little bit of everything, but Dylan Hazen's their star linebacker, their middle linebacker, the leader of the defense, unquestioned, right? But it was all about Jacob Roberts for me. If you guys remember, Jacob Roberts, HBCU All-American, hit the transfer portal, showed up, and I made a video about it on TikTok. I said, guys, Jacob Roberts looks like the man to me. Jacob Roberts is him. Now, they didn't draft him, I don't think, right? I think he went undrafted. He was on my list, my deep hidden gems list before the draft. I still believe in Jacob Roberts. So now he's departed. He's moved on to the NFL. No more eligibility. They got to find another linebacker, and they go and sign Branson Coomes out of the transfer portal. I think that's utterly amazing. Why do I think that's amazing? Well, because Branson Coomes is, although he's a great linebacker, and I think he has great NFL potential, he is Dion Henley without the second-round draft pick. And if you don't know who Dion Henley is, he was a quarterback in high school, got signed in Nevada, started playing wide receiver, and then he got moved to linebacker, transferred to Washington State, and eventually became a second-round draft pick. This was like 2 years ago. Not in this last draft, but the draft before. Okay, so 2 years ago, that happened. And I'm telling you, Branson Coomes is cut from the same cloth, bro. If you go back and watch Branson Coomes' huddle tape, it's going to be all about his wide receiver stats. 75 receptions, 1,500 yards. Oh, by the way, he was dominating in the state title game that they lost. Dominating. I'm talking about 3 touchdowns. He is a wide receiving monster. He's 6'3", 220. They couldn't cover him. He's always open. One of the all-time great wide receivers in Indiana high school history. He's like 4th all-time in total yards. Oh, by the way, 6 interceptions and a bunch of tackles. He plays for the team in white. He's playing wide receiver. They're going to throw him a fade out here, and he's going to win the jump ball because he can meet the ball at the highest point. Now, when you have a guy like this at linebacker, and you teach him how to play line, and he's been playing linebacker the whole time, right? He's been playing both ways. But when you teach him, hey, man, just go out there and be mean, the dude's got crazy athleticism. Sneaky, good athlete. And I ain't saying that because he's white. I'm saying that because people aren't paying attention. Watch him run these dudes over. The pad level's there. Look at the stiff arm. What a monster, bro. What a monster. Branson Coomes needs to be a fan favorite all day long. Here he is on a punt return. He shouldn't be getting anywhere on this punt return. Just an athlete, bro. Just strong as hell and an athlete. And can you imagine? He's been in college 5 years now. I think his birthday is July 14th, 2000. So he's going to be 24 years old in about a week. 24 years old, and he's playing for his final college football season, and Wake Forest got themselves a mean-ass linebacker. But look at him. He's just going to win jump balls. And it's wide receiver tape. This is how he got to the FCS. He's too good for the FCS. But they didn't like his 40. They thought he was too slow to play wide receiver. They said, oh, man, he'll probably end up being a tight end. They had no clue what they were doing. That's how you miss on a guy like this. He's just running over everyone. I'm watching the tape. I'm like, man, he's slow. He's got vision. He's just an athlete. I want you to think of him at linebacker, being able to cover ground like this. When I go turn on the tape, Southern Illinois, they're bad. And listen, I watched Southern Illinois because they had a quarterback that was like 5'9". I loved everything about him. They were a very senior Latin team. I believe they were ready to go. And this young man showed up to play. So for Wake Forest to find an answer in the transfer portal at linebacker, and it's one of the most athletic wide receiver guys I've seen around. No, he's not a burner. Nope. But the dude plays football. He's just a football player. He reminds me, and I don't want to get crazy. But just the skill set, and you're just a football guy. It reminds me of Luke Kuechly. It reminds me of those types of linebackers where you just look at him and go, yeah, that guy can play. You just look at him and go, yep, that dude can do it. That's all there is to it. What's his 40? Doesn't matter. He can just play. He's just better than dudes he's playing against. I don't care. Look at that over-the-shoulder catch. What natural pass catcher you see, bro? That dude is him. He just knows a lot of football. I like him. And I know the huddle tape doesn't do it any justice because you aren't watching him do any tackles. I just wanted to show you what kind of receiver he was in high school. It's amazing. I love the hidden gems. I love finding guys like this. And I didn't make a video about him last year because I only made videos on FBS players. So to see him transfer up to the FBS level, I'm excited out of my mind. But that's my hidden gem. Remember, guys, the playlist. Go to YouTube. Go to the homepage. Click on playlist. You'll see all the other hidden gems, one for every single team. Go watch the playlist. Learn about all the best players coming up next season. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.